Okay, so again today draw picture with let's say like two perspective grids. So just to show how perspective grids and just like perspective structure, how much is a flexible thing. Perspective grid. Okay. Okay, so let's check this one. So here's some image I find in on Pinterest. So you can see very interesting, very interesting thing. So here we have like this part. It's following one grid, and no, it's like two vanishing point perspective grid. And this far view, it's like I mentioned in the previous video. It's like very much two-dimensional. So even we kind of, it's more like we use our memory to impose three-dimensional quality to these buildings there, and like we kind of like apply our knowledge. They should be three-dimensional, like boxes. We apply this knowledge to this picture, but if we just look at straight forward, it's just flat. It's more like vertical and some kind of patterns, some shapes. So this like very different situations. And if here on the first plan it's to vanishing point perspective, and this on the far plan, it's we can also consider it as two vanishing point if we want. We can make it like very three-dimensional on the far plane, but it will be different grid, like direction is different. So let's show you here. So it's like this one here. So I just take, for example, so this is like a perspective grid for this part here, and for buildings on the far after this line. All these buildings here, they kind of follow same vertical axis. They all both have same vertical axis. It's what unites these two different grids. But this, like, let's say if I want to draw this flat building more three-dimensional, so I will show it like this, right? So it's like a box, and I just use this box as a template, kind of as a sample from which I can make perspective grid. So here is like a first plan this perspective grid. So I can like draw all the stuff. according to this perspective grid. And there is this perspective grid. So all these buildings, they kind of follow. Again, here is just for demonstration of difference. When in reality, like practically, it's not even three-dimensional so far. It's kind of is useful to understand. If you need, you can put perspective grid here for this far plan. At least it's good to give you some idea of space, what kind of surface there. So like most of buildings, they will follow kind of this grid. And let's say different size. But also if I want, I can just like little, let's say here, little turn, some building will rotate it. So it's like, again, in the previous tutorial, I've been talking about this. We have perspective grid as a general rule for most of elements, but it's also exceptions, and we treat them as exceptions, so we can just put inside some different angles if we want. And it's not even necessary to draw any kind of perspective for them. You just little change it and it will be there. It's kind of still following this thing. So again, like here's following grid, and some different angle. Etc. I can draw a lot of buildings like this. Also, one thing which is also often mentioned, it's composition, is how we arrange groups of elements, how we distinct different elements, how we kind of what is composition? Composition is like this process when you like break down two elements. So you need to first to kind of dissolve this image into its what is made from. So, and whatever quality you will find. So there are some general rules, some kind of general parameters, and or you can make up your own parameters. A point is like you find these elements from which is made of, and then you compose your own image considering these elements. So in here, let's say we have, like I already mentioned, we have this first plan and far plan, and let's say this kind of this division, like first plane, far plane. Then this first plane, it's like a surface of some roof of some skyscraper, and we have this like interesting, like, let's roof have surface. Okay, maybe show here. So it says this is surface of this roof. Then on the surface we see this massive sink with vents and I don't know what's it, like boxes, electric boxes, air vents. So it's kind of placed on the roof. And then we have this like a fence here. So what is interesting, like if we look from the top to this roof, so if like this here, and this fence actually is not parallel to this object, like from to this mess. It's go like this, is diagonal, so we can see it on a picture. So if like our perspective grid goes like that, this fence, this edge of roof is not parallel to perspective grid. It will like go to its own direction. So this how it will look here. Let me show you. So here, this perspective grid. So this perspective grid here for roof surface and for how this sink with the air vents and boxes on the surface. And here you see how edge of a roof, how this like fence on the roof is go its own direction. So when we draw in a surface of this fence, this kind of z-axis, this direction of the surface of a fence is not aligned to perspective grid. It's only shares same vertical line, but this direction is not aligned to perspective grid. So you can see it here. So you see like this perfect example. So this is this direction parallel to it, this direction, and all these lines, they're kind of parallel. And then we have this kind of edge, roof edge, which is not parallel. So it's going like little diagonal. And I don't know, maybe you can say opposite. You can say this whole thing is not parallel to fence, or I say it's a fence not parallel to this thing, whatever. So, and same here, we make same vertical line for floor plan. And now also like keep breaking down, right? So first I should tell you like elements, and there's also like hierarchy of elements in the composition. One first group, it's a close far plane, because here in this picture it's very like important definition, right? So then on the first plane, what elements do we have? We have, like I showed already, main group. It's surface, this massive construction on the surface, and the fence, edge of a roof. Then we can look inside each of this element and break down each element. So what roof surface have, for example? Let's analyze. In this problem with the photograph, if you have only one photo, you cannot actually understand what is this thing. So some kind of railings, but anyway, you can like at least consider it as patterns, some kind of guess what it is, but it's like you can see it at least as some patterns which is distinctive from other elements. So it's definitely have its own characteristics, right? So it's, and we can clearly see is how it's different, this part with these patterns, different from this thing and different from far away thing, you see? So it's almost, it's like if we have like a portrait of three people, and we have three different people with the three different like facial characteristic. Like it might be like different age, different culture, like we can see somehow reflected on them. So same as here, like we have three different kind of sync with their own characteristics, just like visually, you know. So here we have these things like diagonal lines, diagonal like railings, and then we have smaller like ribs or yeah, this kind of things. Then we have some vertical like a small like a pillars for these railings. Okay, so breakdown already, right? So then we'll look for this one, what we have here. Okay, it's obviously it's like two main thing. It's this let's say like little or like oval little roundish the box round box of this air vents, right? So if like here one element is this boxes, angles, boxes. Second element is this like rounded shapes around these boxes. It's like a ribbon, like this like a ribbon moving around, little more like curvilinear thing. So it's kind of see like it's these two elements. Then we go in next kind of we can break down to smaller elements. It will be like this railings, like it's like box without walls. It's like this kind of edges, ribs, box ribs, right? So we have this thing, and it's like a big one, and it's also small thing here. So it's kind of little fractal here, fractal of a box ribs. We have this ribs going here, going around this air vents. Okay, already three elements. Then we have, okay, we can even take this one like how this thing like bolts or pins, you know. So it's have here on this air vents, and it's have here on this wall. Okay, so it's 4 elements already. Then 5 element, we have these pipes with with these indicators, like, I don't know what is that thing. Then we have cables. Okay, so it's like 6 elements, and then you can break them down, but this already is like little going too small, so at least we keep it on the 6 elements. 2 general is like edgy boxes and roundish boxes, which are like bent boxes, right? And then it's going like more like fine details. And here for edge of roof, we see this kind of construction here, right? We see this like a pillar with a railing connected to this pillar. Then we see this kind of a railing here with the cables connected to it, so maybe some lamps, some kind of thing. So it's like this kind of connections with the cables. So this is elements for this edge here, and also like a cherry on top is this beacon kind of, and some thing like a wind detector, or I don't know how it's called. So breakdown, you see, like from big to small, from general to detail. And then let's break down this far view, what we have. Okay, yeah, definitely first kind of first 2 contrast elements. It's nature, these trees, and city. So it's like here it's like kind of like yin yang, you know, like, so it's this trees here, so have this like one unite park kind of area here, and then sometimes they can appear some trees a bit like within city area. So we have the little trees here, and maybe if you want you can like put some more here around. Trees like this, like if we look this far view, see, so this area with the trees, it's have this kind of pattern, right? So it's like maybe like little wavy arcs for tree tops. And the city part, it's have this kind of pattern. It's like sides of building and roofs of building. So we have this like sides here, sides, and then roofs. I mean, you see, I want to show it just as design elements, as a composition elements, without talking about perspective or anything yet. It's just talking about what we see here, what make it be what it is. So it's roofs and walls, kind of, right? So if trees, like if I want to add some more tree, okay, some arcs, kind of like this, oval arcs. Okay, maybe oval arc here. If I want to add some building, okay, rooftop and wall side, rooftop, wall side. So there, this way is very clear to read, and it's kind of important to be able to see this way. It's kind of this abstract dimension, abstract aspect of work. So it's 2 different approach. One approach when you don't consider abstract aspect, and you kind of trying to recreate likeness of something, but with the abstract approach, you have full control over this kind of likeness. You can clearly define what is make to be like something. So like tree, okay, this kind of thing. Okay, we have like 3 trees, like top of the trees here, right? Just by like shaking line of a arc. So it's like how we draw tree here. It's like general pattern. And if for buildings, okay, just let's say 3 line and this kind of rooftop, or maybe like 2 line and rooftop here, maybe 3 line in a different direction, and again put rooftop. So it's just rooftop, and I kind of purposefully make them angular to oppose curve line, but it also can be like around a roof. It can be like this roof. It's just, again, you see, it's like you break it down from like general to small, from idea to abstract forms. When we're like here, like in the bottom kind of understanding, like when you super clear about this idea of stuff, it just became line, circle, triangle, kind of this, right? So you should be able to break it to this level, and this is what it makes like Akira, this artist, so good in their like visual style, because their visual style is based on their like a very good like abstract vision. They're like, it's like a grammar. Their grammar is very good. Okay. And now, okay, let's just draw some stuff. So now just draw these things. So I'll just more like indicate placement of these objects. And snap them to my perspective grid. And again, like in my perspective grid is little different angle from original photo, but it's fine. So I have this thing here. So you see how I kind of place these elements. I arrange these elements. So instead of thinking about like how to copy this line here, how to get this angle correct, I more think about like where I want to put this element, how I arrange this element together. This approach is just much more effective. It gives you much more let's see. Kind of give you much more power to like to make some effect in your work, you know, because we want to make something impressive, right? So, and how we can do it, kind of like how we can give some impressive quality to our work by organizing all these elements inside. All elements should be organized in a way to like create this kind of striking image. And this kind of only what should bother us kind of during work, kind of, right? So it's not like how to make it correct. No, this should be already like basic knowledge for you. It's like you already know how to drive bicycle. Now you think where you want to go, and you just be aware to drive safely and stuff like this. So same here. We don't want to make it look like we can ride bicycle. I don't want to like show my bicycle and like, hey, look everybody, I can drive a bicycle. No, you think you want to go somewhere. And same here, like to go somewhere, it's go to this impression, go to make impression on a viewer, and we think about this by arranging composition. So even if like it's just kind of interior, exterior, whatever, but it's a music. You still have so many tools to make impression on people. It's like music without words. It's also have a lot of meaning, a lot of sense in it. It just doesn't speak directly to you. So here, this thing. So, and if I put figure here, right, this figure will follow this perspective grid. So it will feel like more placed inside this space. Like in a previous tutorial when it was this interior with a view to window, like a lady standing inside interior, she been following perspective grid of interior. As a roof, we have wind, so we have like this long here. Так. So let's say it's like a boss fight on the roof. So they kind of have argue about heavy metal style. Like one prefer punk, other prefer some thrash metal. So, так, let's see, this will be here. Maybe, so this thing I want to change. I will make it a little higher here. Maybe this is high. Like this. Okay. Hello, Constantinus. Yeah, so now I just need to draw ink over my composition sketch. So, and I again kind of you see process. All previous stages help me to this current stage. So it's very easy now to draw. All I need is to kind of certain concentration, just to make sure I'm not confused with my idea, and maybe I don't make some wobble line or wrong direction line, kind of this. But I don't have any kind of stress over what I'm doing. It's kind of very clear to me. So, and still, it's like I define all ground for myself, but still I have a lot of space for creativity because there is no details, and I can still kind of made up details. I can bring some extra elements. In any moment, I can again take pencil and start to like help myself to figure out like what I want to do. So this is just again this kind of approach to help to be like process to be more effective and convenient, to have more control over process. And of course, as always, I can skip pencil at all if I want. But it's not like always good idea. Often it's better to like think about it, because again, like if you don't know, if you're not sure what you want to draw, like what is structure of your composition, then you make a lot of thumbnails, you make some kind of sketches, you try to understand what's happening, or you make some pencil which help you to understand. And if you're sure what are you doing, okay, then you just start with ink. Because if you're not sure and you start ink from beginning, okay, then you will need to accept all mistakes and say like, okay, I did a lot of mistakes, or like I do a lot of stuff I don't need in my work in this composition, and I'm okay with that, no big deal. Like it's kind of, it's fine, you know, okay, you can say this. Or often you will say like, it's good idea, but the way I draw it is not exactly what I want, so I need to draw it again. So you just choose what you prefer. You prefer like before to clarify what are you doing, or you prefer to redraw whole thing, because in the process you see it can be better, you know. Okay, I have a question. Konstantinos asks, I noticed you don't try to make one-on-one exact drawing. You detour in your drawings and make something different. Do you focus on details first? Or yeah, or just look at the simple shapes? Yeah, it's again, it's all what I'm talking all the time. Idea is not to copy. Uh, it's not copy in a sense what people usually think about copying, because like usually people consider copying, it's like if you have no idea what are you do copy, you know, you just look in image, you see this kind of thing in front of you, and you just recreating it, like kind of you try like a copy paste kind of, right? It's like you try to like place it from here to here, and you use this approach like when you just like measuring millimeters, you try to catch this light and shadow proportions, everything just directly exactly how you see it, just I mean like a robot something, you know, it's like okay, I will copy it here. This is kind of forgery process, like yeah, this way you will, well, it's give you of course some also is also a good skill to have, it's also improve you like your eyes, your skill, but what you will learn with that is like you will be better forger, yeah, like so maybe you can make some cheap copies of other artists so you can sell them, or I don't know, for hobby. And but if you want to be artist, you need to work like artist, and to work like artist you need to follow proper process, and look, this process is not only in your hands, in your fingers, it's also in your head. It's like how do you how you understand what are you doing, how you understand your task, how you understand uh, like how you understand what you see. Like I look here, like right now, like I look in a window, I see different stuff, right? I understand it in a way how average people understand it, or in a way how artists understand it, and how and why is what is difference? Difference is artist. He have all this concept of composition, kind of, right? All this concept of different like rules, techniques, and now I apply these rules and techniques and composition patterns to what I see, and I start to break it down according to these concepts. So, and this is what I explained. I give you example of this in the beginning of video. So, practically, like how I look at this photo, it's identical to how I look in a window. It's just in the window picture is not frozen, and it's have like more dimensions because like it will change if I move and stuff like this, and weather change. But process is the same. I have these concepts and I apply them to what I see. And all this stuff before I start to move pencil and ink on a paper, it's a huge, it's like 80% of actual process. Like so when you like done with all your thinking and all your vision, drawing it's became like this easiest part what you can do with all this thing. If we talk about create kind of creative process, you know, like it's not imitation, like when we are just copy for imitation, it's not creative. but if you want to be creative, like those artists who make real artworks, you need to follow creative way like of thinking and all this stuff. So, and this is why actual final result looks not identical, because I don't want to like transfer exactly same stuff. I want more like practice, like intellectual part of this process, you know. So like what material I choose, what technique I apply, and what concepts I use in my work, what idea I use in my work. All this you need to fine tune. You need to learn different these things, then you combine them, you try them, you arrange them, try in different sequence, and you will get something in the result. Yeah, it's just why I'm talking about this, because like I see like almost nobody talking about this on YouTube. So that's why I want to kind of mention it all again and again. Yeah. So, and of course, also you can learn kind of like, let's say, you can practice yourself to practice this thinking, composition techniques, all this stuff, and also like push yourself to make it more precise, like to make it exactly look exactly same. Yeah, you can do it, but it just will add like you will spend like double more time for it, double more efforts, you know. And like for me, for example, like I say, like I don't need that. Like I'm already doing a lot of stuff. I need to talk and draw and like look all the stuff, like video, all the stuff, and like I don't need all this kind of energy spent for copy exactly, you know, because it will give me more like pressure and pain, and destroy fun of a process. I want like to have fun, more enjoy, and meaning is more important for me. Like just copy is no meaning. I know. I mean, like, what the reason to copy this exactly? Just to prove somebody like I can do it. I don't need to prove that. Like for what? It's kind of it's most generic thing we can do is to show somebody we can perfectly copy visual from reference or from like this like super realism. Yeah, it's like one way to impress somebody. Like we can, you know, like this video when people make like imitation of a real object, so people try to grab it but they can't because it's picture. Yeah, it's only one way, and when people get this impression, it's nothing more than that. There's no story behind. There's no you can use it only once, right? Like when you want to joke on somebody with that, or I don't, or just like make this like first impression. It's like, oh my god, it's a drawing. It's not real. That's all. It's finished. It's all result you can get with this kind of skill. For me, I more appreciate this value of like a composition when it's immersive. It's contemplating. You know, like when you want to watch again and again, and it's like meditation, like you know, like this mandala kind of. In Tibet they have mandala, like this thing with many patterns, and you look say, oh, so interesting. Yeah, I think this is much more value than just copy. So that's why also I don't want to go in too much focus on this copy aspect of work. And of course, if I have that, yeah, it will be nice. But we need to be realistic and say just you spend your time here or there, and I say like, okay, I'll go this direction. Yeah, okay, I just want to complete idea. Because for recording, and I also practice to formulate ideas. Cool. Yeah, if you like consider buy my book, like Taipei, like 36 view Taipei 101, have some tutorial inside. You can check it. No, it's like have many color illustration and also some black and white illustration plus tutorial. So this might be good choice for a first book from me. And Taiwan art book have just a lot of drawings. They all black and white, but many drawings there. So if you just want a lot of drawings, then you buy Taiwan art book. If you want recent and with some tutorial, then you can buy Taipei 101. Yeah, 36 view Taipei 101. Let's see. There's some shadow. cool. Yeah. Leave me feedback after you read them. Actually, here's very interesting. Oh. No, most recent it's Dashi. It's a book called Dashi. So like it's this Taipei 101, and after it's Dashi. It's my two last books. But I think like Taipei 101 is one of my, no, it's almost last book, and also it's very representative because they have a color and black and white. Yeah, original, like first cartridge in the Safari, usually blue. At least like when I buy, there was always blue inside. Yeah, I think my Lamy also shiny. It's kind of, maybe they just have different type. But definitely I think like counterfeit, they will have a lot of problem kind of with the quality itself, and just like ink flow, maybe it will broke faster. Like I buy my first Safari maybe like 5 years ago or longer, and it's always work perfect. Yeah, my Safari also shiny, also glass. It's just forget where I put it. No, I don't know what is Lamy dialogue. We'll look at this later. For a long time I've been fan of only draw with Lamy Safari, but then I come back to fine liners again, and sometimes I like to use fine liners too. Okay. Anyway, like just ink with Japan is still the best, but it's not so convenient. Like when you have this ink nib, it's the best. It's just so amazing. and all these fountain pens, they just more like shortcuts. Maybe I should do some streams with Japan. Hmm. Kukuno. Yeah, so you will actually notice that most of artist lines are not perfect. So this is what I also kind of been explain to myself by watching other artists. You just need to break this wheel of like fanatism when we just like, oh, this artist, he's a absolute master, he have no mistakes. Oh, it's just you need to look more realistically, more clear, and say, yeah, here I can see his line is wobble. Here I can see he cannot draw ellipse. Like so many, like Katsuhiro Otomo, Kim Jong-gi, they draw like ellipse like so often you can see something. Or like Atomo, he have a trick. He draw like ellipse more like this, when it should be something like this. Like in Masamune Shiro, because I think he uses ellipse rulers, like Scott Robertson. So his ellipse is perfect. But Katsuhiro Atoma, I think he just freehand, so they look like more like ovals. This his wheels, and you can see some works in Kanjungi. His ellipse will be not perfect. It's like, yeah, it's easy to draw ellipse when you just draw it for fun, but when you draw motorcycle and you start to draw these ellipses, they always so wrong. And when you see Kim Jong-gi and Katsuhiro Otomo have problem with ellipse, it's also kind of give you some relief, so you don't need to be always perfect, in everything. Yeah, or like Tsutomu Nihei, like his figure drawings, they're, of course, they're like much more simpler than Atomo or Masamune Shiro. Like how Masamune draw females, oh, it's amazing. He's just like so fine, kind of, right? But how? No, it just compares skill, like so far, like a skill of Masamune Shiro in drawing figures, like body shapes, and Tsutomu Nihei. Tsutomu Nihei is like always they're so basic, and it's fine. You kind of don't don't care much about the stuff. So it's just to prove so many distinguished, like how say, like renowned masters. They have so many flaws, so many flaws, so many like mistakes and lack of skill in some kind of aspects in their work. Because again, like I say, it's like, because what they do, they go in somewhere, they're actually doing something, some creative work, instead of showing off their bicycle. Like, oh, everybody, look, I can ride a bicycle. I have the last model of bicycle. Ah, okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll check links. Yeah, you just write them in. Yeah. Sorry, we'll fix all the stuff. Yeah, cell is so complicated. Today I will fix the links. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, well, I will today update all links just to make sure they work properly. This. Oh, okay. Yeah, also now I work on two next books. Three book I have in production. Two book about, whoops, okay, my phone is down. Why? Oh no. I work on three books. So two is about how to draw urban sketch, and how to draw motorcycles. And this motorcycle book will be very, very cool. It's like almost like encyclopedia about motorcycles, but for artists. Because like I've been research, and it's so hard to find detailed information about construction of motorcycle. Like if you're not in technician like me, like most of artists, they're just uh, like to draw. Don't have motorcycle, and they don't have this kind of engineering mind. So it's hard to read manuals of motorcycles, But often all you can find is in these manuals for people like when they need to fix motorcycle. So I've been looking all this around, and in a book I will put it together. And no, all these like main elements of motorcycle construction and how to draw. So I'm already like 20% I think of book is done. So when I will make about 50%, I will start to look for a publisher or literary agent to publish a book. I didn't try Lamy Joy. I only try Lamy Safari. Or actually, I don't know what this. So Lamy something. But this one work no good. I don't know why. Maybe this one is counterfeit. So far, I only like Lamy Safari. It's never fail. Always work good for me. But from time to time, I just want to use G-Pen. This how's it called? Ink nibs with ink. Так, So let's make this grid here for buildings on the floor plan. Так. try some Copic for shading. It's Natural 6. Natural Gray 6. Так. Так. And some my favorite water ink. Let's just mix it here. Let's see. Some experiments with shading. And again, you can also see this like how you can back to inking, just make some minor changes, minor addition, like textures, maybe some noise, some like make it darker in some place. Also can some white Oh, okay, anyway, let's keep it this way. Some roof standoff. Yeah. So see you in next video. Write comments and yeah, watch previous tutorials too. Yeah, see you.